The one they call the Big Daddy Kane is here as the party animal, sex symbol, soloist, vocalist, microphone miracle, here to react, attack. As a matter of fact, I bring forth a sudden impact. Wanna say knick-knack, paddywhack, give Kane a microphone, and all the other MCs are going.
At the Grand Concourse 149th Street station in the Bronx, graffiti writers gather at what they call the writer's bench.
Yeah. What's good? What's good? Live from the writer's bench. It's your man Kill. We got all our soldiers in effect. My man Beezo and Vic. What's going on, fellas?
Oh, what's that?
All right. Yo, today's show simply put its title, yo, where's the love? And this came from because, you know, the boy Drake's album leaked yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I was on Vlad TV, and they just had like cats had pages of Twitter jokes about Drake, like, yo, this, you know, listening to Drake make you want to call your first grade girlfriend up and apologize for breaking up with her. And, you know, they got pictures of dudes crying with a tear coming out their eye, like, this what you look like after you listen to Drake. And, I mean, they just going in on the dude. And it made me kind of say, like, you know, yeah, dude talk about relationships and he talk about being in love, but something Beezo said, you know, a while ago is that if you're 25 and under, like, you really grew up in the, like, this get money era where everything is about getting money and everything is about making it rain and everything is about, you know, growing up with the little Kims. Like, you know, when you think about the women who are our age, they grew up with MC Lights and Latifahs, you know, and about the freakiest they was gonna get with them cats who's like Salt and Pepper. But then you figure these chicks who 25 and under, they grew up with Little Kim. They grew up with Fox. You know, they growing up with Nicki Minaj, Lola Monroe, these chicks who, you know, basically are just trying to say that, you know, yo, we full-time strippers. Like, you know, the video vixen was not around when we was growing up. You know what I mean? So it made me really ask, like, yo, you know, when we all grew up in an era where some of our favorite MCs had slow jams on their albums. Big Daddy Kane on Long Live the Kane had The Day You're Mine, and of course we had L's, you know, I Need Love. You had MC Shan, you know, She Left Me Lonely. You know, Hev had Don't You Know. Oh, you know, I got Hev is one of my favorites.
That's my joint though, right there.
You know,
Teenage Love.
Yep, Teenage Love, and that's a classic too, right there.
You know, but these new MCs couldn't. You know, if you dare talk about love, they're gonna treat you like they treating Drake. So really, my question for y'all is, yo, where's the love? Why can't a dude like Drake, or why can't an MC in 2013 come out and talk about relationships and talk about being in love and talk about breakups without having 1,000 pictures slandering, you know, everything he's saying?
Well, I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, I think Drake is just, I think the cat is over, he's just dramatic. So I think, you know, for me, some of that Drake diss is worthy because, you know, just that cat, he'll take everything, not every song, but the songs that I hear, the majority of them joints that I hear, even the ones that are supposed to be inspirational, are always extra dramatic. It's like in his delivery, it's always like, yeah, you know, and he gets so like, you know what I mean, he goes to this shit in his face, cuz, and it just is like, yo, it ain't, what you talking about ain't that deep. It don't have to be that dramatic. Like, I gotta understand, you're gonna have some stuff that's gonna hit your heart, but every song doesn't have to be like, you know, the one that's gonna make you tear up or make somebody else tear up. Like, so I mean, to me, some of it is worthy. You know, I just feel like the cat is, you know, respect to him, because I'm not gonna, you know, knock his talent at all. I just feel like, you know, sometimes his delivery is like, yo, man, it's not cry me a river, B, come on. Nah. So that's me when it comes to that part. Because we're talking about Drake. When we talk about Drake, I'll say that. If we're talking about something else, you know, somebody else as far as that topic, I feel like there is a thing, you know, in hip hop where there is a lack of love. You know, cats aren't as open as, you know, speaking on certain things the way they used to be. I mean, you have certain people that do kind of go there, like Kanye. To me, the only person I can think of offhand is like Kanye. But I feel like Kanye is an MC that wears his emotions on his sleeve. You know, sometimes to his benefit, sometimes to his, you know, disadvantage. But yeah.
Yeah, I think with Drake, man, too. I mean, I'm not a Drake fan like that. I ain't like I be running out to buy the latest Drake album or nothing like that. But he do got a bit of Keith Sweat in him, kind of like what Ev was saying. Sometimes he do go like, damn, dude, all right, you know, take it easy. But, and yeah, like Ev said, I think some of that criticism is warranted. Because again, if I take it back to, you know, one of my favorite albums, the Ghost Dini, you know what I'm saying? We got the Wild Ghost going, and like I said, he's talking about every facet of relationships you could imagine, you know what I'm saying? But it was one of his most criticized, and I don't know what it did sales-wise, you know, compared to his other albums, but just in terms of people I knew and, you know, the feedback you hear on the internet, he got a lot of criticism because of the fact that it was all about the chicks. Like every single song was about relationships on some level. And I felt like I said before on that show we talked about it, that I felt that was dope, that he's showing you. I mean, nobody would ever question, you know, Ghost's like hardness or streetness, whatever you want to call it. But here, this man he's showing you like, yo, even a hard body cat needs love. You know what I'm saying? So, but with Drake, I think what Drake is like, he exemplifies the other side of this hardcore shit. Where it's like, it's so much of this hardcore. Everybody want to be tough and hard that it's like, whether it's intentional or not, I think Drake is like, he got to go to the extreme on the other side. And everything got to be pouring out his heart, and, you know, all these feelings and emotions. You know, and that's, you know, that's all, you know, that's him. That's who he really is. That's who he really is. You know,
so
whatever.
So can an MC in 2013 not have an album full of pouring out his feelings? Vic, what you think?
I think you can, but like when we talked about all the stuff that we had listened to, it was still, I don't listen to the radio like that. So is the R&B even the shit like that now for this album to be out there? Because you gotta remember when Slick Rick and all that came out, Sade was hot, Luther was still hot. You had Freddie Jackson, Loose Ends, you had all this R&B that was getting played. So when they slid that love stuff in, it was like, okay, you know what I mean? That would be I think you should be able to come out with whatever you want.
Yeah.
I just think, are they even listening to any R&B now to like kind of?
Well, but Vic, think about it. Think about the content nowadays of these R&B cats. Like you just said, like me and Kill was talking about earlier. When you compared Jodeci, like Kill said, Jodeci was like the bad boys of R&B, but they had songs like "Stay" and "Come and Talk to Me," and they expressing their love, but they was considered the bad boys. You know what I mean? Whether it's because they was a bad boy, not whatever. But it's like you just said, Vic. I mean, the R&B that we grew up on, it was still about emotions and relationships, and it was still cool. So maybe on some levels, some of these MCs put that on their album because that type of genre, that type of music was still real popular. So they were kind of trying to tap into a market. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, I don't know what the sales like nowadays, but I know back then there was a time in hip hop where the chicks were the ones that were buying most of the records. I mean, and I think that caused some artists to make sure, all right, we got to have at least one song for the shorties. And I think it's all this shit has evolved into this stripper music and shit. You know, I guess with Drake, I think to answer your question, Kill, I think it should be able to. Now, you know, whether or not Drake, you know, goes to the extreme, I think that's part of what I was saying is his problem, if you want to call it that he's like, all right, you know, we understand you got some love or whatever, but damn, yeah, he going a little bit too far with this shit sometimes.
But see, it's good, Vic, how you brought it in with the R&B, because I think that's a huge thing, in that, like Beez was saying, in our generation, we were able to still hear BBD talk about, you know, smack it up, flip it, rub it down, but then at the end of the day, these dudes is talking about running trains on chicks, like me and the crew used to do. Like, but then at the end of the day, these dudes still got "When Will I See You Smile Again?" You know what I mean? Like, there was still always, like you said, that Luther. Our generation grew up with our parents listening to that Luther in the background, listening to that Sade in the background. So whether they were, even these rappers were trying to tap into a market, or maybe these rappers, at the end of the day, you know, dudes need love. You know, whether you want to talk about that or not, you know, dudes ain't in relationships because, you know, somebody kidnapped them. You know what I mean? They're there because it's a feeling that we all have. But I think it was just more accepted during, you know, when we was growing up than it is now, because all you're hearing is Trey songs. I want to swim in it. You know what I mean? I want to dive in.
But look, man, I think, you know, if we're going to get on that, I mean, we are the last generation of when shit was still a mystery. These cats now ain't no mysteries no more, man. They ain't writing love letters. It's text. And the text is, you know, straight to the point. It ain't, you know, I'm not going to, I don't want to sound, you know, old. I just think, you know, how they're dealing with a lot of things. Maybe it's just on some stripper shit now. I mean, look, man, when I was young, I wish, you know, I ain't gonna front, man. I mean, damn, I wish I had to write half them letters.
Yeah.
Letters, but, you know, maybe, I don't think there's nothing wrong with Drake today, man.
I don't know how many of y'all got kids, but I got 2 boys that's 20-some years old in college. You know what I mean? And I've had and my daughter. I got a 20-year-old daughter. I've had the conversations with all of them about, literally about sex and about relationships, especially with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter, 20-something, is still a virgin. You know what I mean? And because I let her know, like, look, Daddy been in every type of relationship you could imagine. So if you ever got something going on, you can come to me and rap with me about it, and I'll be 100 with you about it. And she's always respected that. And like you just said, Vic, there's no mystery involved no more, man. Even a song like "Let's Get It On" from our parents' generation, yeah, Marvin was talking about sex, but in a sensual, in a dope way. You know what I'm saying? Whereas R. Kelly talking about, "You remind me of my Jeep." I like, what? If you a chick, if some chick came to you and was like, "Oh, I love you so much, Ev, you remind me of my Prada shoes," I'd be like, well, you need to put them shits on and walk out the goddamn door then. I mean, it's like the mentality has been dumbed down and it's been reduced to the drunken, mollied up, ecstasied up, that type of sex. You know what I mean? It's not sensual. It's like this freaky shit everybody wants to get on.
I'm gonna ask y'all as producers then. I mean, do you think that's what these record companies, that's all they gonna give them? Look, man, we want the molly and the twerking. All that other crap you talking about, getting artistic and loving the woman, and we don't want that. Do you think there's still that in the industry? Like they're dictating what these cats can come out with?
I mean, I definitely think, you know, that they're still dictating it. I think one of the things, you know, the big thing is in 2013, cats ain't moving units like it used to. Like, you know, back in the day, you know, if you were on MTV, for the most part, you were selling some type of records. For the most part now, if you ain't Jay, Drake, Wayne, Beyonce, you know, there's only a handful of cats who's really moving units. I mean, if you can go double platinum in 2013, that's like selling 10 million back in 95. You know, there's a time when just going, I mean, J. Cole just went gold and they shouting that out. I remember there was a time in 95, 96, you went gold. It was like you flopped. You know, but with, you know, the internet, free downloads and everything like that, if you're still able to sell 1 million records, that's actually amazing. You know what I mean? That you're able to sell 1 million records, even though people have websites where they can go and get your music for free. That's amazing right there. I think, you know, and it's funny that you said it, Vic. It's almost like a little resurgence because just this past month, you know, Raheem DeVaugh's album dropped, John Legend's album dropped. You know, both albums are real dope. I was in the barbershop the other day. My people was telling me about TGT, The Tank, Genuine, and Tyrese joint. They saying that's dope. I was in the record store the other day. My man was telling me the Jaheim album is dope. You know, like he on some old, like his lane is that, like we was talking about that Luther, Freddie Jackson, like let me romance the old head woman type lane. So I think they're still there, but I just think at the end of the day, it goes back to like our very first show when we was talking about why these cats don't talk about what's going on in the hood, because they haven't been raised to. These kids haven't been raised to know about love. It's not like, you know, my parents taught me what love was. It was just you listen to enough Luther and Freddie, you're going to know what love is. So, you know what I mean? You're going to want to kick some of them Luther lines to a chick. You're going to want to say to, you know, Michael's Lady in My Life. You know, you're going to want to, you hear that music all the time, you kind of get it. You know what I mean? But I guess like Beezo said, if you're growing up on, you know, just get money and stripper, you know, pole anthem music, where do you get the love from?
That's kind of like my point right there. Like, well, my point is, how much do we really know to really make that statement like there is none? Like, you know, I haven't listened to an entire J. Cole album. Is he not talking about no love at all in his joint? Where he to me, he would seem like one of them cats that would be. Because I mean, if you think about it, we still do have, you know, like you said, you have who'd you say, John Legend's new album. You got Genuine and what you call them new album, and so you do still have some artists that are doing some of the things that for us, Anita Baker or Sade would have done for us back in that time. So that still exists, but as far as like finding it in the I guess in the popular market, because underground you still got your Most Defs. He's still gonna give you some type of love song somewhere. Common's gonna give you something somewhere.
You go with your comment.
Nah, what's wrong with Common?
Nah, but what we was talking about earlier, when you was like, dude, just soft anyway.
Oh so. Yeah. That's crochet pants. That's a whole nother conversation.
Look, man, I got a hip hop story.
But that's my point. Like, do we really know enough to say that this is not happening, or we just looking at what's happening on the popular market?
I think the thing is that the people we're naming is more so marketed towards us. I don't think John Legend is marketed, and it could be wrong. I don't think John Legend is looking for album sales from the 12 to 24-year-old market. I don't think TGT, a 14-year-old chick who don't even know who Genuine is, don't know Tyrese from the Coca-Cola bus stop commercial.
In that case, you got your Frank Oceans, you got Miguel, who is marketed to those.
I was going to bring up Miguel because he got his shit is, he got some different shit. And
he got some different shit, but keep in mind, y'all, he do got a song about how many drinks do I got to get in you till I can bang you when I
but again, at the same point in time, we had our Kelly. We had our, you know what I mean? We
never fucked it off.
You had, actually, shoot, if you want to go there, you can say Prince. We had our Prince back there.
Who's the group too was a group like that was Guy. Guy was one of those last groups from another generation. They kind of walked, a little bit of both sides of the fence with that shit. Even on one of their best songs, what's the slow jam off of their first album?
My Love?
Yeah, well, I forget the name of the song, but in the song, the nigga Aaron says he called her dumb bitch.
Dumb bitch, yeah.
Now, did he really call her that?
Oh, yeah, he said that in the joint. It's in there.
It's in there. It's 100. He said, "You dumb bitch." It's what's official. He said it.
Because I think Pooba sampled it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm about to say Pooba used it too. Yeah, he called her a dumb bitch. But my point though is like, Guy was like, they had a song like "Yearning for Love," which is obviously a cover joint from I forget what group.
Gap Band.
That's the Gap Band. Yeah, Gap Band. But they would have a little bit of both, but. Like R. Kelly, you brought up Ev. I was never a fan of R. Kelly because of shit like that. You know what I mean? Like the song I mentioned, like "You Remind Me of My Jeep." I never found it as being creative, but I would listen to chicks. This is when I was in Maryland, and I would see how the chicks out there would just be, they loved R. Kelly, and I'm like, yo, you would like if some cat told you that you remind him of his Jeep? Like he's comparing you to a material object that he rides around town in, picking up more chicks.
Yeah, Let me ask y'all another question as producers then. So each generation, another layer comes off. As producers, do you say, let me wade through the bullshit to find the cat that ultimately is going to be a star, or you know what, man, nah, we just shutting it down?
You mean in terms of like working with somebody like that? You mean listening to it or working with somebody like that?
Yeah, I mean, because I always look at it like we're in the disco era, and then eventually the people that were really musicians and writing good songs, they came out of that and came through the 80s and then so forth. So I guess my question, these kids are coming out with this now. Do you just shut them down and this ain't what y'all going through, and we need you back in skirts and 3/4 the cloth, or you know what, man, this is what's going on, and eventually one of these cats, they gonna hit it and be a star?
I mean, for me, I guess I can get a little more insight because, like I said, I got 3 children out of 20, at least 20 years old, you know what I mean, and 2 boys and a girl. And they all got their own taste, but they, at the same time, they all, obviously, some of it comes from their father, and showing them the shit. But, they can see through all the bullshit. Like, at one point, my 2 sons fucked with Lil Wayne, but then as Lil Wayne started getting on his, wearing fur boots and jeggings and shit like that, now he too much. They might have fucked with Khalifa, but it became.
Let me try to clarify then. 3/4, maybe I'm wrong, of what we were listening to in our 20s was drug dealer music. So
I think for me,
wait, I missed that. What do you mean it was drug dealer music?
I mean, what
the music? Oh, okay.
Yeah, about bringing crack.
All right.
You know,
yeah, the 90s was heavy on crack. Yeah.
And when they went on that tirade, you know, getting the steamroller, the roller, whatever, John, and rolling over music, and y'all don't need to listen to that. We was like, yo, pump your brakes, old head.
Right.
But see, I think
that's the same thing. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead, F.
I was saying that's the same thing that I'm saying. Like, you know, we're coming from a different perspective, trying, you know, being like, nah, that's kind of whack. But it's like, how much do we really know? You know, because there are, you know, and another thing too, it is the internet. You got 1 billion and one artists now. There's no way. It's not like before where you had your MTV, you had your Rap City, you had your VH1. You kind of knew what was out there in the market, even if you didn't listen to the radio. Now, if you listen to the radio, you don't know what's hype unless you got somebody else to tell you, or somebody sends you an email, or you see something from somebody on Facebook.
But I think that's the thing that, and I agree with you, it's just the thing that when we was growing up, the top artists, the people who were in our face, I mean, there wasn't a bigger group than Jodeci. There wasn't a bigger group than Boyz II Men. You know, they were the ones talking about love. The biggest people right now in R&B, if you say Trey Songz and, you know, Beyonce and people like that, I've listened to Trey Songz albums, and they're not, like I was telling you and Beezo the other day, like I grew up making slow jam tapes, you know, but the whole point of the slow jam tapes was when a shorty came over. Like Vic said, there doesn't have to be no romance no more. You know what I mean? And even as I got older, slow music relaxes me. So if I have a hard day, or if I'm working on some HTML stuff up here, I'm throwing in my headphones, listening to some old slow jams to relax me. I haven't made a slow jam CD in at least 3-4 years because there's just not good enough music that's being put out. I got slow jams with Trey Songz on it. I got slow jams with some of these newer artists out here. So I still listen to this R&B music, but it's just not there. It's just not there. You know, I'm one of the few people who don't like Frank Ocean. You know what I mean? I don't see the hype around dudes. You know what I mean? And
is it not there, or is it not there the way that you used to hearing it?
To me, it's just not there. It's nothing banging that I'm going to put on a slow jam CD. Because again, it's not just about trying to get some. It's just about when I want to just sit back and relax with some good music. When you put Sade on, it just is there. You know what I mean? And with Frank Ocean, it just ain't there. I'm not a fan of dude. You know what I mean? I like that one joint he had out, but for the most part, as an album, when cats are calling him the next one, it's literally just how I feel like when cats say Kendrick is the next one. And I'm like, well, y'all gotta be careful with that, because the next one in my generation was Nas, was Biggie, was Jay, cats who are on the Mount Rushmore hip hop. So you got to remember, when the last time people was talking about he's the next one, you talking about cats like D'Angelo, Maxwell, you know what I mean? And Frank Ocean ain't no goddamn Maxwell or D'Angelo, I can tell you that. You know what I mean? So it's just, but again, and it's not I'm just saying that this generation needs some love. Because if we're making fun of Drake because he's overly sensitive or because he's in love, there's something wrong with that, because everybody out here has been in love, or if you haven't, then you got a sad life. You need to be in love with somebody. But with this new generation, and I was telling Beezo, I saw this thing on the net today about this chick from Harlem, I think, or some part of New York. She did like a top 20 goal list of things she wants to do, like after she graduated high school. Number 1 was be a stripper. Number 2 was make it rain. And the top 10 was get more tattoos. You know what I mean? So somewhere along the line, and trust me, I understand it's getting worse, because Vic, you said it best when you peel the layers back. Because by me working with kids in the hood for the last 13 years, I mean, dog, I got 6th graders giving head parties. You know what I mean? When I was in 6th grade, dog, I was spinning records trying to still learn how to perfect my windmill and my footwork. The last thing, I don't even know if I knew what head was in 6th grade, let alone girls being like, hey, get all your dudes and come over to my crib, we having a head party. You know what I mean? So I'm not blaming the music. I'm not the dude who's like, oh, yo, I'm blaming the music. I think music is a part of it, but there's just a bigger problem that's going on that these kids need to understand and kind of can grasp onto something. And a lot of times we do grasp onto the music. You know what I mean? I tell a lot of people, I feel sorry for this generation, because I honestly believe if we didn't have the Cosby Show in a different world, a lot of people in our generation lives will be different. I don't know about y'all. School days in a different world made me want to go to college. Made me want to go. Not because my mother said to go, but made me want to go to college. You know what I'm saying? And these kids don't have that. These kids don't have that show. Our generation was the first generation to really have to deal with divorce. My mother's generation dealt with, well, Pop may not be around, but it wasn't no revisitation and all that. Our generation is the first generation to really deal with, no, my mom and dad are divorced. I have to go over his house every 2 weeks. I got to spend a month in the summer with him. So many couples that me and Roz coach, I always hear this. I want to be like the Cosby Show. I want to be like the Huxtables. That's what they have to lean on. This new generation doesn't have anything to lean on. They don't have anything. They don't have, our generation, a lot of people didn't have mom and dad in the house to show them what a good marriage was. So the only thing they got to lean on was what Cliff and Clear had. What's up, B?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about a conversation I had with Sha some years ago. We were still in Baltimore. When you said that about the Cosby Show, because I remember one night him coming to me being like, some chick he was kind of digging on, and he was like, she came to him talking about she wanted a relationship like Martin and Gina. And he was like, he looked at her like, bitch, is you crazy? Like, that's TV. That's not real. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I think what Vic said describes it best is that each generation, a layer has come off, and like more and more has gotten revealed. Where it's like we grew up in the 70s and 80s. You coming off of the civil rights era, so you still had that black power, that civil rights kind of attitude in some of the music. And even if our parents listening to it, it got trickled down because we heard it, every other day. So we kind of we fed into it. So when I first came to Morgan, my first day, I was down in the harbor reading Message to the Black Man by Elijah Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Because I was still in that, kind of pro-black, and that's when X-Clan and PE and all of them was still around and whatnot. Then when you moved on, like Vic said before, you had the crack era of hip hop where everybody's talking about slinging and whatnot. And then after that, you kind of had the Puffy in them era with the party, the strip club. And it's like we've been stuck in that strip club shit. Because like you said to me earlier, Vic, Kill about the stripper shit. The stripper shit wasn't as popular when we was coming up as it is now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that is the strip club has turned into like a hangout. That's like the clubhouse type shit. Whereas when I was in college, it was your man's crib. You know what I mean? Everybody meet at your man's crib. Chicks come through. Everybody's chilling, drinking, smoking, hanging out, talking shit, whatever. It wasn't worried about having no head parties. You might slide off with a chick and do your thing, but it was just different. But the depth of the content has just gone downhill.
And again, let me be the bad guy. Speaking of Jodeci, when Jodeci and Tupac came out with the video "How Do You Want It," it had nudity in it. Mm-hmm. And I had to been, I don't know how many years ago that I had to been in my 20s, but I was down south at the time, and that just was the hot shit. Did we not set in motion for what we have now? That's one point.
I think our generation, we kind of created this bullshit.
In a world of texting and how fast things go, is it really a place for an 8-minute Portuguese love by Tina Marie right now?
Nah.
People's attention spans ain't long enough for that shit.
And I think the hard part is that if you don't think, and this is something that me and Ev were talking about the other day, there came a point in hip hop, and I don't know when it was, when it went from being you could rap about anything to you can only be hard. There was a point like when Kwame came out with the polka dots and the dye in his hair. I never once in a million years ever thought, I know you, Vic. I know. I got you, Vic. But what I'm saying is, I never in a million years thought, this dude gay. It didn't pop in my mind.
Yo, I went down that road. When that first jumped off, that's when I first started going to the tunnel and the underground, all them clubs down there, man. And I was one of them wearing jabos with platform shoes. And Beezo, you would rock the paisley shirt, open the buttons and pull the shirt back.
I had some too. I was out there.
And I didn't necessarily get clowned, but when the hard stuff came out, it was in abundance. It came to the point where I gotta get a goose and some Timbos. Yeah. That's what's going on out here. They ain't selling the shit I'm trying to rock. It's all drug dealing music.
Right, but that's
why if you think about it, that was smart.
I mean, that's funny, Vic, because you hit it on the head. Because that literally, that whole look, the whole the North Face and Woolrich snorkel with the 40 belows, that literally was the drug dealer look for the cat that's
standing on the corner all night.
Exactly, trying to stay warm, slinging rocks, and that became the fashion. You know, the fucking the army fatigue coats and shit like that, the Carhartt jackets. You know, that whole look. That was the hustler nigga. That was the nigga, not the nigga. And think about it. That wasn't like. That was like at the ground level. We was all I won't say we all was doing it, but majority wise, we were all had the look of the nigga on the corner. Whereas you didn't, the cat who was serving all these niggas that had all these cats working for him, he might not be dressed like that. He was pushing some fat shit while these niggas is on the corner 40 belows and they Woolrich. But the rest of us was rocking that nigga on the corner look and shit. And then now it's gotten up, okay, it's like people's mentalities. All right, I'm not going down to 145th and picking up an 8-ball. I want to be the nigga that niggas is buying an 8-ball from. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm the big dog. So now I'm in the club and I'm buying drinks. I'm buying out the bar. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute. Why am I wasting my time on chicks in the bar I might not get some from? Hey, let's go straight to the strip club. You know what I'm saying? It's like, boom. Now I'm making it rain. So it's like it went from the corner to you in the club at the bar to in the strip club. You know what I'm saying? And that's like you said, the layers just keep coming off, man, and more got revealed. And I do think that we deserve some of the blame, our generation, because we were reckless with it. You know what I mean? We had some shit in our hands and we was kind of reckless with it. You know what I mean? I ain't saying necessarily us four here personally, but our generation and how we handled hip hop. Niggas got reckless, man, and took for granted, didn't have the foresight to see where this shit is headed, man, where we be taking this thing. And that's where it's at. It's like, damn.
I think that's an important part. Like, you know, we kind of are now dealing with we're reaping the seeds of what we planted. So it's like, you know, so that's, you know, so not saying all of it, but I'm saying some of it. You know, we didn't, like you said, we didn't keep control of what was going on. Yeah, because I mean, back then we knew how to differentiate between, you know, what was reality and what wasn't. Now everything kind of just molded together. So now we're dealing with a whole different type of animal. So I mean, that's a deep point. You know
what? Let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all this. Do you think, like you're saying, like we planted these seeds, so now we're reaping what we sowed? Do you think it's actually our generation, or was it because kind of like you said, and I don't know, I kind of felt Ev, you were gonna go somewhere. So forgive me if I'm wrong for assuming this. When Vic, when you said like the hardcore, everything just hit with an abundance. I've always heard people say, you know, different things like, you know, the man was behind it. You know what I mean? It was like a facilitation of, you know, people investing in prisons and, you know, the prisons being linked with the industry to say we need to get more blacks, you know, because like you said, it just got wiped out. It literally was like a tornado. Like that whole, I could be, you know, Fat Boys, Kwame, Houdini. You could just be a regular dude, and hip hop just got wiped out. And it just was like, you got to be hard. I always tell people, if Nas would have came out in '90, the dude would have been dressing like Q-Tip and probably had two dancers with dreads on stage with him. But he came out '93, '94, and at that point, your two dudes had to be in, like you said, Beezo, the army fatigues, drinking a Heineken on stage, you know, with the Scully pull half over one of your eyes, you know, type thing. So do you all think, is it really, are we reaping what we sow? Like, did we do something wrong? Or is it just the industry, we didn't say, no, we don't want to do that, we're going to keep doing our music?
Well, we didn't stop it. I think one of the things is we didn't attempt to stop it. Not that, I mean, as young cats during that time period, we probably didn't know how to stop it.
And then I guess that would be my question. Even now looking back, how do you think we could have stopped?
I don't even know, because I mean, to me, one of the issues was the fact that money came into the picture, and during that time we had a variety of things. You could be Tribe Called Quest, you could be Black Moon, you could be Nas, you could be Biggie, you could be Onyx. You know, you could go and dibble dabble into all these things. Not actually physically be these things, but you could listen to all this stuff and still maintain some type of level head. Now everything kind of went into this one direction of what made money, and it was basically the people who decided, well, what's going to make money? Okay, violence is going to make money. Profanity is going to make money. You know, let's get the women butt naked. Let's degrade them. That's going to make money. So everybody went the money route. I think, you know, some people are to blame, especially the ones, honestly, to me, some of the cats who we came up on, who were pushing some type of consciousness that went money. Like, to me, those are the ones I'm like, yo, you knew better. You, if these other cats just came in just for the dollar, you didn't come in like that. And understand, yeah, we all gotta eat, we all gotta feed our families, this and that, but you knew better, so you basically contributed to what this poison was. So I think, you know, but to answer your question, as youth, I don't know what we could have done during that point in time, because it was out of our hands, it was out of our control.
Young man, and that's my point, man. Is, you know, because we did it. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking now, Akinelli, put it in your mouth.
That's a dope song. That's a dope song.
Play it to this day, and the old head chicks still get this look like, yo, that was shit.
That's like the original dope.
How you say that's a dope song?
I mean, instrumental, like music-wise, aesthetically speaking, that's dope.
Yeah. I think it's funny, is the conversation that we have as far as like what's going on. He'd be like, yo, these cats talking about stripper poles and shit like that. That's just whack. And he'd be like, oh, put it in your mouth? Oh, yeah.
I'm more mad. What is more appalling to me is artists that are older that had to resort to that to get a record. I'm more mad at that. The Drake and cats, that's them cats, they 20 years younger than me, man. But you got a cat like, you know, Juicy J, man, come on, to go back to that, yo, you my age, man.
Exactly.
It's, I mean, he should know better. He should know better.
You gotta come out with this to stay relevant. I'm more mad at that, but to answer the question, man, Drake coming out with a love joint. Now, I'm not hating on that at all. And maybe them cats that were tweeting foul shit about him is because they just can't do nothing else, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just because they couldn't, you know, they can't. Their intelligence, you know, won't allow them to go beyond, you know, rapping about mollies and sipping on lean all day.
And the thing that I wonder too is that, like you said, this new music takes away from some of the mystery. So maybe I'm wondering, even if it's not, they don't have anything better to do, or they don't even understand. I mean, I always wonder, and I talk to my teens about it, like, yo, do you even tell a shorty you love her nowadays? Like, you know, this generation doesn't have to go through the nervousness of, you know, come and talk to me. People don't understand that these dudes is talking about, yo, I see this chick, I'm nervous to kind of kick it to her. These kids nowadays don't got no nervousness. Like you said in the text show, can I get some? Yay or nay? You know what I mean? That whole level of innocence has been stripped away from this generation. So I'm just sitting here like, somehow, some way, and then I know it's a pipe dream, but somehow, some way, I feel like we have to get this generation to understand what love is, because that's why we have, and there was an incident in Philly, Vic, I don't know if you heard about it, but this dude, two best friends were gonna rob the other best friend for a PlayStation.
Oh man, that was crazy.
Yeah, then one of the dudes robbed. What happened?
They murked him or something. They killed him over the...
No, but what happened was one of the dudes robbed the best friend for the PlayStation. But the other one they were supposed to do it together, the dude felt some kind of way, like he played him. So they was walking home, and then dude just shot him in the back of his head and just like shot him like 10 times. Yeah, something crazy.
Wait, time. Did you say 12 times?
12 times.
Over a PlayStation.
Dog, the thing that I posted on Facebook today, Beezo, that's the link. That's the link.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to check it out. But Kill, I want to go back to what your question was though, about like in terms of how much responsibility we, you know, who owns a lot of the responsibility of the state of things. I kind of would, to sum it up, I would kind of call it like the unholy trinity, where you had at the top. Now, in like, I'm gonna go a little bit far with it, but like with the 5% nation, you know, you got man, woman, and child, and I kind of look at it similarly. The man being, you know, the foundation of things, and I think the labels themselves, and whether it be the A&Rs or the executives, whatever, having an initiative, like you brought up about the private prison complex, you know, them having an initiative to create this environment. And then the next part of that would be the artists themselves deciding you know, okay, well, there's all this money involved in it. They guarantee me they're gonna promote my album. They're gonna put my shit out if I talk about this. And if you an artist coming up and you're seeing this is what's popping, these are the cats that are selling, well, that's what you're gonna do too, because you want to sell. And then you got like our generation. We the child in this, in that unholy trinity, man, woman, child. We the ones that's like, you know, we know right from wrong, but we're kind of still too immature to do it and not have to be told what we're doing. So when we out there in the corner, we out there listening to this shit, and we kind of living out some of what we hearing. Part of us, not everybody, but part of us knows, man, this shit ain't right, but yo, this shit is crazy. Like it just said that Akinelli shit. I know it's fucked up, but man, that shit is dope. You know what I'm saying? And I knew when I heard it. You know what I mean? I would never let my daughter listen to that, but it's a dope, musically, it's a dope ass song. So it's like you have all three of them. All three of us have played a part in terms of the label, the artists themselves, and us, the audience, because we knew better, man. We did. We knew better, but we either was too naive, too ignorant, or we was just like, yo, but this shit is, yo, I'm having a good time with it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep rocking it. And then it's like, now we're older, and you got people now who have just come to accept the fuckery, man. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's so much of it. It's almost like in football, they could call holding on every play. You know what I mean? It's like, it happens all the time. It's happening so much that, hey, I can't stop it all. I can't stop all of it. So fuck it. I'll be the one that's trying to go against the grain when everybody else is going this way. And you know how people are, man. People gonna follow.
We really got to tread into a heavy subject now, man. So again, I'm gonna ask y'all as producers and artists. You know, I know me with the graffiti thing, but we get into censorship now. You know, we went through that argument as young bucks. You know, when we was like, yo, and remember the Ice-T came out with the joint, they sent the FBI down there. Like, this shit gotta come off the shelves, man. But he was speaking how he felt about a subject that he was close to. I mean, you know, I think youth is about rebellion, man. And if you don't allow them to have that, we won't get to the next stage. I mean, you talking about the internet, you get on here, all the internet is for porn. So, you know, pretty much, you know, and then like I said, man, there's no more letter writing. I talked to my daughter, man, you know, just to go around the subject for a minute. You know, I asked her to write me. She was like, damn, yo, I'll text you. You know, and then on that note, my daughter lives in Colorado where weed is legal. What type of conversation I'm gonna have with her about weed? You know what I mean? Like, it's just evolving, man. And I think we're, maybe like what Ev said, maybe we're looking at it as old men, you know, and not what these kids are really dealing with.
And see, that's the thing. Like, my biggest thing is I don't want to censor anybody. I'm just saying that we need a balance. Okay. And that, like you said, you know, being young is about rebellion and all that. I'm just asking for a balance, like, because a lot of times, like you said, Beezo, with R. Kelly, and me and T were talking about it one night. She was like, yo, all R. Kelly talks about is sex. And I said, well, have you ever heard of R. Kelly album? And she was like, nah. And I'm like, to be honest with you, R. Kelly got a lot of songs about love. Like, I was just banging TP2 coming home from work, and he got these joints like talking about, yo, I really didn't mean it. Yeah, I scream at you, but you know, that's not how I feel. Like, R. Kelly has a lot of joints, but it goes back to what I said, like, about Pac. But it's that so many people, and it's like you asked, Ev, well, have we heard the music? That's why I said I can't speak on Pac no more, because I've never heard a Pac album. You know, a lot of people give Jodeci the bad rap, but it's like at the end of the day, just because of fiending and freaking you. But like I said, if you really listen to Jodeci, they talk about love. Jagged Edge talk about love. 112 talks about love. You know, but if you only hear certain songs and that's what you go off of, then that's what it is. So that's why I'm just saying, can we just get a balance across the board? Of course. I mean, like you said, Beezo, we had Let's Get It On. There were songs about sex in the 70s, you know, but there was, again, a balance. And that's what I'm just saying, is that throughout life, we've had that balance. And I feel like this generation right now doesn't have that balance. You know,
oh, my bad. Go ahead. My bad.
I was going to say, did people in our generation have sex with women we didn't love? Hell yeah. You know what I mean? But then we also had sex with people that we did love. I don't think this generation just has sex. So I'm just saying, to me, any society where everything is just one-sided and just heavy on one end and the seesaw is down and this side is up, is unbalanced. We need some type of balance, and that's what we don't have. So I don't want to censor Trey songs. Trust me, I like songs about sex. I'm just saying we need a balance of songs about sex and songs about love, and all we have right now is songs about fucking. We don't even have songs about sex or making love. We have songs about fucking.
It ain't even about sex, man. It's just shit.
Is that what we have, or is that just what's making it to the pop field?
The radio, right? Is the radio just playing that?
Because it's the same thing with the Jodeci thing. You know, like cats back in the day thought, oh, Jodeci, they just talk about sex, they got fiending, but no, Forever My Lady. Like, if they don't really, people don't really take time to listen to what else is there. And
again, for me, I'm an R&B dude, so that's what I'm saying. I do take the time. I listen to Frank Ocean's album. I just ain't like it. You know, I listen to John Legend's album.
Is he talking about love?
You know what, to be honest, I don't even know. I ain't even gonna hold you. I just don't like the music. Yeah, you're right.
But that's
right. I got his album. He got some joints in there like that. Same thing with Miguel. But like you said, you know,
it's a question of who's pushing what to the forefront. And my thing is, you always got to go back and ask the question, because that's the same thing that happened to us back during that time. That's the reason why, quote unquote, everything got super hardcore, because there was people that was pushing that to the forefront. So the question now was, well, who's pushing what to the forefront? Is it that these things don't exist, or we don't see them because the stuff that they pushing out there in the forefront, stuff that we don't like?
And I agree with Av, because even though it might not have been any of us, but they really did mash out on them neo soul cats, man. They they soft, they this, they got all, we really, a lot of cats really, they burning incense down there. I'm cool,
But I mean, but that neo soul crowd had a market, because these niggas was moving units. You know what I mean? Like with Jeff and them was doing in Philly with music and Kindred and all, with Jasmine Sullivan, with what's the old girl who used to put it in your mouth beat?
Y'all know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Y'all know the chick. I've never really been a fan of her, but
like Angie Stone, one of them chicks.
Nah, the big chick.
Jill Scott.
Nah, like outside of Jill Scott, who the biggest neo soul chick that's out there?
In Philly?
Nah, she ain't from Philly. India.Arie. These people, these people were moving units. It's not like India.Arie and Jill Scott is selling 10,000 records. Jill Scott selling out the Verizon Center. So they had their audience. You know what I mean? But
you know what though? It's not just R&B. Because I think a perfect example of that is a chick like Jewel, the white chick. Because when she first came out, she was on some wholesome like folk rock type of shit. You know what I mean? Where she was just on some regular look. You know what I mean? She had a cute face to her audience or whatever. And some nice music, whatever. And then when it's like she went through some makeover, and all of a sudden she's sexy, and her music is crossing boundaries. I mean, I listened to some of her shit, and same thing like with India.Arie. I think what's happened to some of them artists like India.Arie, Jill Scott, and Angie Stone, is like those three in particular, they could sing. You know what I mean? And like one of India.Arie, she got one of my favorite songs, "The Truth." You know what I mean? When she's talking about the dude or whatever, I mean, that's a dope ass song. You know what I mean? Talking about, even if we don't make it, I know I'm just better for having met you and having been in love with you type shit. I mean, that's some dope shit, because that's some real shit. You might meet a dude or meet a chick that, you might love them to death, but hey, I met at the wrong time and shit don't work out. But it became so much more than just about the music. The image became everything. With the videos and shit, the image became everything. And there was no more room for a heavy set chick, whether she's cute or not, who could sing, but is she sexy? Is she hot? You know what I mean? Is she gonna make a nigga wanna lose it over her type shit by seeing her? It became about all that shit, man, the fluff shit, the smoke and mirror shit. When it's like,
if you think like what you were saying, that like if there, like let's say that there is a balance of love out here, but we just don't know about it. Mm-hmm. Why do you think so many people came at Drake like that? Like, do you think it's just because he's a rapper and a rapper? Because we've kind of meshed the lines with this.
I think people don't like Drake.
We talked about rap and we've talked about R&B. So let's say that there are love songs out there. Mm-hmm. We've missed them because we ain't checking for these artists. Why do you think Drake gets clowned so much?
Well, Drake has been a target for a couple years now. I mean, one of the first people I know that made Drake a target was Common, which was like you're making Drake a target? Common? Like, that didn't even fit to me. So I think that just, you know.
But wasn't that about that whole Serena thing? Wasn't that some old personal beef? Like,
I don't know, but Common called it soft, and I was saying you was wearing crochet pants.
Yeah, you calling Drake soft? Like, that was kind of all right, okay.
Drinking tea.
My thing with that is I think
Drake crochet pants calls you soft, man. Damn.
Drake has just become a target. He became the soft dude target. I mean, which was for a lot of different people, just kind of like poke shots at Drake after that. So I mean, I think that kind of plays a part. Whereas like, you know, so for him to come out and have, you know, I haven't heard the album, but if he's doing a bunch of stuff that's real, like from stuff that I did hear, that's real overly dramatic or overly dramatized, and it's like, yeah, people gonna definitely take more shots at him. That's like Hammer coming out and doing a bunch of soft songs back in the day. Like, you know, Hammer was a target for a while in the mid '90s. So it was easy for cats to kind of poke, you know, even though he was selling mad records, but he was still a target. So I think that's probably one of the reasons.
Do you think any MC, could Jay-Z come out with a song, not even a whole album, but just a song talking about married life? You know, I
mean, I wish he would. Honestly, I think he can.
Do you think he can? Do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely think he can. I think, but I think that's a different topic because we're talking about Jay-Z. Jay-Z can come out with a song about gardening in the backyard and people will love it, just because it's Jay-Z. So that's a different, you know, to me, that's a different type of artist.
Ghost's album as a perfect example, the Ghost Dini joint. You know what I mean? Like I said, most every cat I knew of and I heard about cats talking about it, they problem with it, aside from you, Kill, was the fact that it was all about chicks. You know what I mean? All about relationships. And I'm like, damn, why is that a problem? I mean, you should be glad a nigga is stepping out and doing some other shit, but
maybe that's what the key is. Maybe that's what the key is of what you just said. The whole album. Like when we go back to our generation, Big Daddy Kane had Raw, Set It Off, just rhyming with Biz. You know, Word to the Motherland. You know, Ain't No Half Stepping, and One Slow Jam. You know, Slick Rick had, you know, all these bangers, Children's Story, and then he had Hey Young World. You know, Heavy D had The Overweight Love, and it was just one. So maybe it's just the abundance of it. Maybe it's not if that Drake had one song talking about love, but is that's Drake's MO. Kind of like what we talk about when I say with ball, like you a 3-point specialist. Like that's what you do. Like Drake is the love specialist. So maybe it's just
doing that since day one. You know, like his first like popular song like that was that joint, Girl, You're My Everything, man. And that whole shit, he's been doing that since day one and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think for that fan base, again, just going off of like what I see on Twitter and Instagram, you right, man, Cash be going in on that nigga, man. And I think some of it does have to do with, they just don't, I think it's like, you either love Drake or you hate him. There's not a lot of people who are kind of in between, you know, take him or leave him type thing. You either rock with Jake, but a lot of the people I've seen that like him are chicks. And I think, you know, that may have something to do with it. You know, some dudes just don't like the fact, you know, all these chicks love the dude. So I think it's, some of it just has to do with, some of it is Drake himself and his music. He's been, like I said, he's been doing this since day one. But I think some of it is some cats just hating on him because he's an easy target.
And I think that's part of like just maybe society. You always need one weak person that everybody kind of picks on. Even though we all talking about love, don't be bullying. I mean, but it still happens in society today. You always have one person everybody just got to kind of smash.
I'm thinking about the watch right now, man. And Raekwon told Ghost up north, nigga, you ain't getting jail play. And I just think Drake just flipped it. Yo, I got an audience out here for this shit, man. You know what I mean? If y'all cats can't get with the program to really get out there and get your art out there and take a chance for something else, that's how I look at it. I'm curious, who sent the tweets? Please tell me it was Lil Wayne or...
Oh, no. I mean, these were just random people who was sending stuff, who was just like, yo, and I mean, it was like, I'm sure it had to be more than this, but like I said, I saw maybe about 20 or 30. You know, but like you said,
them cats ain't got no girl. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
But I think it's like you said, Ev, is just like he the dude that's still on right now.
Yeah, like, I think that's what it is.
Problem, like,
and cause he light skinned nigga. You know what I mean? They don't like him. Cats are like, oh, hey,
yo, come on, man.
This shit like, oh,
here we go.
But I think, I mean, but also,
a lot of shit going around out there. I know people don't like Instagram and Twitter and all that. You know, it's like You know, you just got this whole shit, you know, bitches be like, niggas be like, in a picture with a caption. They got a whole series dedicated to Drake. Light-skinned niggas be like, and it'd be a picture of Drake crying and some shit. Light-skinned niggas be like this, and it'd be Drake. There's a picture of Drake in like a nursery on his stomach with his feet up in the air, wearing slippers, drawing something with a crayon. It's like, come on, man. And as a light-skinned nigga, I know there be some hate out there for some light-skinned niggas, man. It just be like that sometimes.
But I mean, I think that's totally right. But I also, you know, don't want to take away the fact that some of that, to me, some of that stuff is warranted.
Yes.
He's a dramatic. He's just a dramatic dude for no reason at all. No reason at all. So I think some of it is
this shit now, yo. Word up.
Yeah, it's a line on a new album. He say something like, "The next time we talk, I don't want to talk. I want a truth." Like something like that. Like something like I just want to
cuddle, man.
I just want to cuddle.
Yo, man, I'm just trying to figure out M, because look, I'm thinking about one of the hardest blends you could do to hot shit was the Simply Red I Keep Holding On with Impeach the President, man. And that holding on was the softest shit ever. But when they blended that shit up, it was the craziest. Come on,
but you know what? Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the Simply Red without the blend. I think, you know.
But that was some soft shit. So how can you say Drake is over?
No. But listen, what I'm saying is, if you listen to Drake and the way Drake delivers his songs, I'm talking about the inspirational joints, the love joints, even to me some of his hardcore joints. He's just so dramatic with it. Everything is so like. I seen the cat on Jimmy Fallon. He had a joint on Jimmy Fallon. And it was just, and I at first I was like, okay, because he had the mic and he had the mic saying he was just going in, but he just started, you know, it got overly emotional. Like, yo, why was he so emotional in this place? He started crying, but it was like, oh, and it's like after a while I was like, yo, man, shut the fuck up. Like, yo, man, for real, like, yo, you irritate me now. Like, why you don't have to do that consistently. Some of Drake's stuff I think is bang. I think Find Your Love was a banging ass song. Definitely, but I can't take that over. Like the same things, like, you know, Vic, you can't take Talib over and over again because you don't like his voice. You know, I can't take a whole lot of Drake for the simple fact that it's just and it's him and the girl and it's him and them. But the thing is, he's trying to be like.
I hope that nigga sound better than that.
It's like no, he does. But I think it's like there's an acting part on it that just goes wrong, and you just do it consistently. Every time I see you doing it, and it's like, yo.
Well, tell me this too, because do you think it's because he sings and raps? And Drake was, I don't know if he was the first.
Most Def sings and raps. Most Def sings and raps.
Nowadays?
Shit. And listen, anytime, like, you know, my fiance don't like Drake. Anytime you got females be like, yo, he is kind of soft. It's like, all right, come on. Now, women are saying that. It's not just me. It's like, yo, he
you know what, Kill? You know what I think it really started, a lot of people started kind of turning on him was that song Started From the Bottom. But it's like, on the one hand, cats heard it, it's like, I know cats that I never fucked with Drake like that, but cats I know was like, I heard him talking about like, yo, that shit got that beat is hard. But, and the first thing they would say is, what he talking about, he started from the bottom. Nigga from the suburbs, lived in a fat ass crib. I think that song really, turned some people against him and shit, yo. But it was like,
he was a soap opera actor.
Yeah,
soap opera candidate.
You know what? And that's how I define his MCing. It's real soap opera-ish. It's like it's over. It's just a whole lot of what I don't need. And don't get me wrong, I think Drake is a talented MC. I think he can write. I think he can really write. But it's like, yo, why every time you get up here, I gotta get, you know, all my children? Like, come on, B. That's not so dramatic. That's just me, man. That's just my opinion.
All right, so maybe, you know, that's what it is at the end of the day, that's just Drake's MO, and it's just overkill.
I mean, for him, it's winning. Shit, he's selling.
I mean, I'm sure if LL Cool J came out with a whole slow jam album, we would have thrown him under the bus.
But he caught hell for I Need Love. There was a lot of cats that was like, yo, what is that bullshit?
Yeah, he could.
Until they saw the video and saw the chick, and it's like, oh, okay.
Alright, it's cool.
But yeah, even on whatchamacallit, what's his next album, Walking with a Panther, he had like 3-4 slow jams on that.
Yeah, because he saw the witness, he like, hold up.
And I think one of the worst things that can happen is for an MC to find out that he's a sex symbol.
Yeah.
You talking about Big Daddy Kane posing in Playboy.
Big Daddy Kane.
Look, I saw Kane at the rooftop in Harlem wearing a Fendi suit, a Dapper Dan Fendi suit, dropped his pants, was wearing a bikini, and started humping the air and shit, son. And this was when he first came out. This was on Long Live the King was out. And I remember seeing it. My sister was there. She was like, damn. Now, I don't mind seeing a naked man, but damn, come on now. When is a rapper going on stage shaking his ass in a bikini?
He was doing that for the birds, man. At the day.
What it's all about.
Day, man.
Teddy P, man. It's not a Teddy P audience, cuz Teddy P, man. He, you know, it's
You know who used to do that too?
Give me RAW and then drop your pants. Come on, man.
You know who used to do that too? Ecstasy from Houdini used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to drop his pants on like every show. I've been to like a million Fresh Fest, and he ain't have no bikinis on, but he would have some shorts on. But this dude always just wanted to take his pants off.
Yeah.
I mean, even like, I mean, come on. Even as men, let's be honest. 90% of the shit we did growing up was for chicks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got haircuts. You came out the barbershop looking fresh. Not so your man's gonna be like, yo, that's a dope cut, my nigga. No. It was so that shorty that's sitting in your math class in the front seat. You like, okay, he got the fly kicks, he got the fresh cut.
But not when you was rhyming. Not when you was rhyming or writing rhymes. You actually did that for your peoples because you needed that. You needed that applause. You needed that cat to be like, yo, that shit is dope. If a chick say shit is dope, you be like, is it really dope? I don't know if she just saying that because she like me. I don't know, you know. So you actually just like Nas. Nas wrote Illmatic for the people in Queensbridge. Like, yo, this was my, you know, my thing for them. So I mean, it's like, yeah, you know, we did certain things as young cats for you know, for female attention. But when it came to rhyming, like, it's almost like you had to stand your ground. Like, yo, I gotta stand my ground with the rest of these sharks out here. Right. So I gotta make sure I come correct.
And that's how you got that respect, which ultimately would get you the love for the chicks anyway.
Exactly.
Like, exactly. Chicks love a man that's confident and strong and all that, and you out there holding it down in the hood amongst all these sharks, and you the big dog. That's gonna get you all the chicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you're right.
All right. Well, another dope show, y'all. Thank y'all for helping me to realize why the internet hates Drake. You know.
Stop that shit, America.
Everybody out there, all you new MCs, y'all are limited to one song about love on your album in 2013. Just
that's
one.
The rules.
Have a whole album.
Let's start coming up with some rules, man, at every show, man. That's the rule right there.
I want to sneak one in for the young people, man. One of the best afternoons of my life, man. I was knocking this joint off to 36 Chambers. That's how I fully heard the shit. 36 Chambers playing. Wasn't no soft shit. And we
Stop. Hold up, Vic. I saw you peeking around the corner looking for shorty, right? Make sure everybody hear this shit.
I'm gonna put that out there, man. And I know y'all probably was waiting for it to go down too, but it didn't have to be on some let me know. Oh man.
Yo.
I'm in between, but thumbs up for Drake for putting it out, baby.
Yo, as usual, salute fellas. YouTube.com live from the bench. Check out the website www.livefromthebench.com. Ev, what's the acronym for it?
Oh, LFTWB.com. Live from the rise of acronyms, man. Just live from LFTWB.com. We'll have all the sessions up there this week. I'm gonna have to make sure everything is up there, so you can go up there, drop some. You know, we love the feedback, man. Even the stuff the cats don't be feeling.
There's a lot of feedback.
Yeah, bring it. I love that shit. Bring the hate. I'm from New York.
Yeah, I want the hate.
Yeah,
all right, so yo, as always, fellas, great show. Salute, Vic, Beezo, Ev. We get back at y'all. Keep it live.
Man.